Also joined by my guy, Slick Rick. And we got to talk how much the Lakers should fear the Warriors. Fellas, I told y'all yesterday, I think the Lakers are fine as it pertains to 7-game series. But when it comes down to one game against the Warriors, I am now like Slick Rick, cautiously optimistic. I'm now like Slick Rick, skeptical. Because when it comes down to one game, I think about the Warriors. Did they just beat the 1 seed and the 2 seed in back-to-back games? Do they have the best record over the last month since April 10th in the West at 13-5? Is Steph Curry averaging 36-5 over that stretch? Is Draymond Green nearly averaging a triple-double over that stretch? Did Steph Curry go 4 for 24 over the last 2 games against the 2 best teams in the West, mind you? And the Warriors still win because Andrew Wiggins is coming off of his best game of his career? When I think about the Lakers fearing the Warriors, not for a series, but for one play-in game, it makes me a little bit nervous. One play-in game, do or die, is going to come down to who has the best player on the court. If LeBron James is 100% healthy, to me, he's always the best player on the court. But we know this. He's not going to be 100% healthy if he's on the court at all. Anthony Davis, he's rarely 100% healthy, even when he claims to be 100% healthy. So that leaves Steph Curry to be the bad man and the baddest man on the court. I think that the Lakers should have some fear if they got to play the Warriors in a play-in game. But, CB, you tell me, how much of the Lakers fear the Warriors in a play-in game?
Well, the stuff you said at the end was the critical stuff. Is LeBron going to be healthy? Is he going to be on the court? Is AD going to be healthy and on the court? If they're not healthy and on the court, then certainly there should be some fear there. But if they play, and even if LeBron's 80-85% and AD plays, then let me see, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much fear should they have of the Warriors? How about a 1? All right, as in no fear. All right, I don't care if it's a one-game situation. I get what you're saying in a March Madness type deal, one and done, kind of, because then you just go play the 9th or 10th seed, and you still are in the playoffs or have a shot. But kind of a one and done situation. Steph Curry could go berserk, and you could end up losing that game. Anything can happen in one game. But the Lakers have handled the Warriors pretty easily this year. They've beaten them 2 out of 3 times. The time they lost, they were up big in the 4th quarter, and the Warriors kind of stormed back. But they didn't even have LeBron James playing that game, and they still were up big on him. The 2 times they beat the Warriors, they actually blew them out, and Anthony Davis didn't play. All right, it was just LeBron James. And Steph did not go off against the Lakers. He averaged 23 points this year against the Lakers, didn't shoot it well. There's only 3 teams in the league that he scored less against per game than the Lakers this year. We know they're great defensively. They can at least keep Steph in check somewhat. So if I'm the Lakers, I don't fear them. Now, healthy respect, sure. They are champions. Draymond and Steph have championship medal and pedigree, and you must respect that. But fear, absolutely not. And let me say this. Being the 7th seed in the play-in against the Warriors, I'm not saying it's preferable because you really don't get any break, but that might be better than facing the Clippers in the first round as a 6th seed. You know, you the 7th seed, you get Phoenix. The Lakers are beating Phoenix if they're healthy. Even if you're the 8th seed, you get Utah. I believe the Lakers beat them if they're healthy. So it's not the worst thing in the world to be in that play-in game against Golden State.
Broussard, you hit something that I agree with right at the end, which is they should not fear the Warriors. Because when I think of fear, I think of being nervous and uneasy. And I don't want to see the Lakers second-guessing whether they are capable of beating the Warriors because of all their injuries and their current situation. I do want them to respect the Warriors and what they're capable of, and I think that's why you saw them play the way they did after games 2 and 3 against the Warriors this season, after losing that first game. It was a wake-up call to say we can't take these guys too lightly because no matter how we come out, if we make it a possession-by-possession game, at the end, Steph Curry and Draymond Green are an established enough combo to make things dangerous for us. So I am, again, staying in the cautiously optimistic category because I would fully expect that the Lakers would win a matchup. But it is one game. And the last two games that the Warriors have played would only add more to me being cautious, because they didn't just beat the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns, the top two teams in the Western Conference, but they did it with Steph Curry shooting a combined 4 for 24 from three-point range. The idea that Steph has to go off in order for the Warriors to win against the top teams was dismissed in these two wins. Steph is now drawing so much attention that the Andrew Wiggins and the Juan Toscano Andersons and the Jordan Pooles are demonstrating we can take advantage of that. If you're going to put too much attention on Steph, we can deliver. And that's what I love about what Draymond and Steph have created, is that they have created a chemistry and a culture where these young, unproven guys believe that they can carry some water for Draymond and Steph. And that is a special chemistry that I've seen a couple iterations of in a Warriors uniform. And don't mistake that either. At the very beginning of this Draymond-Steph run, when Mark Jackson was the head coach, they were coming out of the doldrums, and they only had themselves to believe in, and they found the power of that and ended up making some noise. So for all of that, you put all that together in one game, the Lakers certainly better respect these Golden State Warriors.
CB, this is why my fear is much higher than a 1. Because to the biggest point of what Slick made is Steph Curry, if you try to D him up with 2 to 3 defenders, the other Warriors players have shown that they're competent enough to beat you. And more than that, Caruso would be the primary defender on Steph Curry. Last I checked, Caruso left last night's game with a foot injury. So who now would be the primary defender on Steph Curry? As long as Steph Curry is on the court, regardless of who he is playing with, that team that is being led by Steph Curry has a chance to beat you. Particularly if you're the Lakers, you don't shoot the 3-ball very well. If you have a great shooting night and they don't, you're going to be all right. But who's to say you're going to have a great shooting night? And Steph Curry's capable of dropping, 49 points in 29 minutes, even though he only hits 3 3-pointers in a game? That, to me, says, yes, the Lakers should be confident, but they should also be concerned with the fact that they can get caught slipping if indeed they are slipping and have to line up against the Warriors.
See, I don't think the Lakers have to load up on Steph the way that Phoenix did last night. I mean, Phoenix just threw everything and everybody at Steph, and that left it open for Draymond, who's a great playmaker, and then Wiggins, who can drive and score. He's not much of a shooter, although he's been better this year. He was able to, shoot mid-range jumpers and get into the paint. So the Warriors really don't have great shooters outside of Steph. Poole can get hot here and there, but for the most part, if your defense is scrambling, that opens up the lanes for the other guys. But if you can guard Steph and, for the most part, stay true to your defense and keep him from going off, then you got a much better chance of stopping Golden State. And I think the Lakers are capable of doing that because they're obviously one of the better defensive teams in the league.
Well, this is the misnomer when it comes to the Warriors, because we think of them in the Steph histrionics and all the three-point shooting, that they are an offensive team. They are very much like the Lakers. They are 22nd in offensive efficiency. They are 5th in defensive efficiency. That's not for the last week. That's not for the last month. That's for the entire season. Very sneakily, they are a very good defensive team, and it's where on offense that they are not always efficient or ideal. So they are very much built the same way that the Lakers are. And that's why for one game, one night, I mean, 1 out of 10, come on, Broussard. You got to give them a puncher's chance. Get me at least close. A 3, a 4, a 1 means that you're basically saying they have no chance. And they've already demonstrated this year by winning that first game. There's always a chance.
There's always a chance, especially.
Well, see, I was playing off the word fear.
Okay.
I was playing off the word fear. I'm with you. Like, yes, respect them, no doubt, because they could beat you, especially in a one-game situation. But fear, no. I can't go with fear.
Well, let's make no mistake about it. Respect can turn into fear real quick as soon as you end up in danger. And if Steph Curry starts knocking down threes, that respect will alter real quick.